You ever look at a skyscraper or even just your car and wonder, where does all that metal come from? Well, it all starts with this, a pretty common rock, actually. But this is a story of transformation, a story about an incredible process, a kind of high-stakes heist, really, to turn that ordinary rock into the very iron that, well, builds our entire world.
All right, so let's get right into it. The story really kicks off right here, with this reddish-brown ore called haematite. Now the thing is, this isn't just a rock with some iron chunks mixed in. Nope, the iron is actually chemically locked inside, bonded super tightly with oxygen. So you can't just, smash it open and pick the iron out. It's trapped. It's basically in a rocky chemical prison.
So right there, that's the big question. That's our challenge. How in the world do we free the iron that's trapped inside this rock? How do we break those super strong chemical bonds? It's not about brute force. It's a puzzle. And it's going to take a really specific, really clever chemical key. Basically, we need to find something that wants that oxygen even more than the iron does.
And that, right there, brings us to the hero of our story. And honestly, it's a pretty unlikely one. We're talking about a gas that, we're usually warned to stay away from. But in this very specific situation, it has a kind of superpower that makes it the perfect candidate for the job. Okay, let's meet this hero. Carbon monoxide, or just CO. Now, its official job title is reducing agent. I know, that sounds super technical, but it's actually pretty simple. All a reducing agent does is remove oxygen from something else. That's its whole deal. So in our heist story, carbon monoxide is the specialist. It's the master thief, and its entire purpose is to get in there and snatch that oxygen.
Yep, that's it. That's the mission, plain and simple. Steal oxygen. That's its one and only goal. It's laser-focused on getting that oxygen away from the iron ore, which makes it the perfect agent for our heist. But an operation this big can't just happen anywhere. Oh no. It needs a very special arena.
And this is it. This whole chemical drama, this whole heist, it all goes down inside one of the hottest places you can possibly imagine, a blast furnace. And let me tell you, this is not just a big fire. It's a massive, towering, totally controlled inferno. And it's designed for one single purpose, to be the stage for our heist.
I mean, look at that number. We are talking about temperatures hitting 1900 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that is way hotter than volcanic lava. It's just insanely hot. And all that extreme heat, it's absolutely crucial. It creates this super high energy environment where our chemical reactions can happen like lightning fast.
So, what do we actually throw into this furnace? It's a pretty simple recipe, actually. Just 3 key ingredients. First, you've got the haematite ore. That's the rock holding our iron prisoner. Second, we add something called coke, which is really just a super pure form of carbon. And third, we pump in a constant blast of incredibly hot air. That's it. That's all we need to get this whole thing started. Okay, so the stage is set. The ingredients are all in there. The temperature is just soaring. It is time for the main event, people. This is where our hero carbon monoxide finally gets to work and the heist begins for real. And it all happens in a simple 2-step chemical sequence.
So check this out. This is how it all goes down. Step 1. We have to forge the weapon. The coke, remember that's just carbon, reacts with the oxygen from that blast of hot air. And bam! That reaction creates tons and tons of our hero, carbon monoxide. Now for step 2. The moment that carbon monoxide is created, it swarms the iron ore. And because it's the perfect agent for the job, it literally rips the oxygen atoms right off the iron. That's the heist. The carbon monoxide grabs the oxygen, turning into carbon dioxide, and in the process, the iron is finally set free.
And just like that, mission accomplished. The oxygen has been stolen. The chemical prison has been broken. And we got exactly what we came for. This whole process, happening right now in blast furnaces all over the globe, is the absolute fundamental starting point for pretty much everything we built.
And this is the prize. Pure molten iron. That's the reward for our hero's great journey. Now from here, this iron, it's going to be purified, it's going to be mixed with other stuff, and it's going to be transformed into the steel that literally forms the skeleton of our modern world. So really, the next time you see a giant bridge, or a ship, or even just a simple nail, take a second and remember the Great Oxygen Heist. It really makes you think, doesn't it? I mean, without this one clever bit of chemistry, if this simple rock had never met its chemical hero, what would our world even look like today?